Nier Automata is a special game, and it really takes that special gamer to truly love it. I thought I was that type of gamer. I guess I'm not, because I'm finding this game too boring to even complete once. I understand the critics, creators, and reviewers who say you have to beat this game multiple times in order to really appreciate the masterpiece that is Nier Automata. But what if you can't even get through it once? When I first started playing Nier Automata, I didn't know what to expect. I read as much as I needed to know in order to give it a chance. My first impressions of the game was that it was undeniably Japanese. You can tell by the music. Big ballads, like the ones you find in Final Fantasy or your average middle-of-the-run Japanese RPGs.
I feel like I'm losing hope in my body and my soul, and the sky, it looks so ominous. And as time comes to a halt, silence starts to overflow. My cries are inconspicuous. Tell me.
You can also tell by the art style, but that's not a bad thing. It reminds you how different this game is, and different is a good thing. Life would be bland if everything was the same every time. Don't believe me? If you're young, ask an older married man. It gets old, and real quick.
Give me my remote control!
And what will Daddy give Mommy?
Well, I already told you I needed you. What else do you want?
In the case of Nier Automata, despite it being a little different from most games I play, I'm still finding it quite boring, and I'm finding myself having to push through this game. And even though at times I'm having fun, more often than not, I feel like I'm going through the motions, and I'm just playing to get through it, playing it to justify the money I spent on this game. Something that I'm quite used to, but I haven't done in a long time. Nowadays, most gamers know exactly what to expect from games they play. Announcements for games are made years in advance, and until release date there's a constant drip of information and thousands of videos and articles surrounding the subject. By the time the game is finally released, we almost feel like we already played it since most surprises are already spoiled. I grew up in an era where you had to take a gamble on a game. You may have been lucky enough to be subscribed to a video game magazine or two, but if you weren't, and even if you did, you would most likely have to make your decision based on the box art and the description of the game. When it comes to Nier Automata, I took a gamble on the description and some gameplay videos, and as of right now, it hasn't paid off. It hasn't been a complete loss. Like I said before, I did have fun at times. The combat is where this game definitely shines. It's action-packed and fast-paced, switching between running and gunning and hacking and slashing, bouncing enemies off the floor, dodging enemy attacks, chaining combos together never gets old. Especially when you can change up your playstyle whenever you like. Changing your gameplay style will definitely come in handy for those gamers who finish this game multiple times. The visuals can be a hit or miss. Sometimes the environment feels grand and vast, sometimes a sight to behold, other times it looks barren and dull. Still, somehow it comes together and it works, and I can see why gamers hold this game in such high regards. It's the little things it does right. Little things we take for granted, little surprises. In a video game that's about robots, humans, synthetic androids fighting for the future, you can fish, and you can catalog them and scratch that collector's itch.
Report. Success.
You also come across corpses of the fallen gamers scattered across the world. You can ignore them if you like, or you have the option to revive them, where they will become your companion for a short period of time. If you're like me and you're not a people's person, then you can simply choose to absorb some characteristics instead. In a place so barren and lonely, it feels kinda nice coming across someone's dead body. It reminds you that you're not alone in this journey. Someone has been here before. When you find these bodies, the players leaves you with their last words, well, at least ones you can pick from. And there's a lot to choose from. Most of them adequately describe what led you to your death. And you will die, and another player will find your body. So choose your words carefully. If you happen to die embarrassingly, just pick one that describes you going out in a blaze of glory. I still plan on finishing this game and playing through it multiple times. I want to truly understand it, but I just don't find myself doing it anytime soon. Especially when I can be playing all these other games in my backlog, or going outside. I hear there's this big burning gas bubble in the sky. I want to check that out one of these days. So, the reason I'm making this video is not to talk down about the game, but rather let other gamers know that it just might not be for them. I've only come across mostly positive videos about Nier Automata, but those gamers most certainly fall into the category of those special kind of gamers. The ones who live in the culture. For them, video games is more than a hobby. Sometimes it's their jobs, so they may find other value in playing this game. I think the average gamer will have a hard time connecting with this game. I did, and I'm far from your average gamer. I'm wanting to like this game, but most of the time I wish I was just near the end, but then I realize I've only scratched the surface. That's not to say that you won't have fun with it, but you'll have to stick with it and play through the fluff. Maybe next time I play, I'll stick mainly to the main story and ignore the rest, at least until after my first playthrough. So slowly but surely, I'll eventually pass the game. If nothing more, maybe my scattered corpse can bring comfort to the gamers on their travels. Let my last words guide them. Hopefully they find success where I failed. Hopefully for them, their gamble pays off.